brothers have requested if you could make a circle, so it will be much better, inshallah.
Make a circle, just make a big circle.
Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man wala. Inshallah, we're going to be reciting from Surah Al-Muzammil 12, 13, and 14, inshallah. 12, 13, and 14, inshallah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن لدينا أنكالا وجحيما وطعاما ذا غصة وعذابا أليما يوم ترجف الأرض والجبال وكانت الجبال كثيبا مهيلا.
الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. Indeed, with us are shackles, chain, wajahima, in blazing fire, and food that chokes, and painful punishment. It will happen on the day when the earth and the mountains will tremble, and the mountains will become a heap of sands scattered. बेशक हमारे पास इनके लिए भारी भेड़ियाँ और भड़कती हुई आग है, और खाना है जो फंसने वाला होगा, और दर्दनाक अज़ाब है। ये उस दिन होगा जब ज़मीन और पहाड़ कांपेंगे, लर्ज़ उठेंगे, और पहाड़ हो जाएंगे बिखरी हुई रेत के टीलों की तरह। This is Surah Al-Muzammil from the very early revelation of Qur'ān Kareem. This was the third surah revealed to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in Makkah al-Mukarramah. And this was the time that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He just commanded the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam to wake up, leave everything behind, and go invite people towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the first ayah says, Ya ayyuhal muzammil, the one who wraps himself in a cloak, in a piece of garment, leave it and stand up in the middle of the night. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was given some instructions from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this surah of Qur'ān Kareem that are very important and essential for any person who is muballigh, who is da'i. Any person that works for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, his job is to invite people to Allah. These instructions are for that individual. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was scared when he received the first revelation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah revealed this surah to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, advising him to stand up in the night time for prayer. And when you stand up in the night time, this way you can establish your relation with Allah. This is how to strengthen your relation with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when your relation is strong with Allah, this will help you how to invite other people to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the first thing for any da'i, any muballigh, to work on himself, to look into that. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, this was commanded him just to prepare him for this great work and great job, which is the job of da'wah. And then the second thing, he was commanded to وَرَتِّلِ الْقُرْآنَ تَرْتِيلًا, recite Qur'an Kareem with tartil. Recite Qur'an Kareem as much as possible. The third was Kurisma Rabbik, and remember the name of your Lord. Do tasbihat, azkar, and whatever is possible. Do that. وَتَبَتَّلْ إِلَيْهِ تَبْتِيلًا, and isolate yourself to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Forget about the people. Just think about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And number 4, فَاتَّخِذْهُ وَكِيلًا, make Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protector and guardian for yourself. And then he was commanded, وَاصْبِرْ عَلَى مَا يَقُولُونَ, be patient with what these people they say. Whatever these people say about you, they say this is na'uz billah, that he is sahir, he is majnoon, and he is whatever the comments that you hear from these people, be patient with that. وَهْجُرْهُمْ هَجْرًا جَمِيلًا, and this is the 7th one, leave them in the right way, in the best way. Do not argue with them, do not fight with them. If they say something, just be patient. Leave them in a respectful way. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he revealed these ayat, وَذَرْنِي وَالْمُكَذِّبِينَ أُولِي النَّعْمَةِ وَمَهِّلْهُمْ قَلِيلًا. O Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, leave me and these deniers, those who reject you, I will take care of them. And give them some time. In today's lesson, إِنَّ لَدَيْنَا أَنْكَالًا وَجَحِيمًا وَطَعَامًا ذَا غُصَّةٍ وَعَذَابًا أَلِيمًا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned 4 types of azab, punishment for these people. Those who rejected Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, especially the people of Mecca. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he says, إِنَّ لَدَيْنَا, indeed with us, ankalan. Ankal is the plural of nakal or nickel, and that is chain. Feather or chain. Inna ladayna, indeed for us, indeed for them with us, ankalan, chains, wa jahima, and blazing fire. So the first thing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned, the punishment, the azab for these people who rejected Allah and Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, is ankal, that they will be chained. They will be tied up in chains inside Jahannam. And the second one was jahima, and blazing fire. Why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he mentioned chains, that inside Jahannam, that this kind of punishment will be given to these people? You know that they were the people, in the previous ayah is mentioned, وَذَرْنِي وَالْمُكَذِّبِينَ أُولِي النَّعْمَةِ. They were the people of luxury in this world. They had the best life. They enjoyed this life. They had leadership. They had status of this world. They had wealth. They had people. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he says that the life of this world that these people, they enjoyed. So they had freedom. They had freedom in this world, but now inside Jahannam they will be shackled and they will have no freedom. Inna ladayna ankala. They will be chained up and they will have no freedom now in Jahannam. So this is the contrast that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He mentioned, that the freedom they had in this world, now everything is gone. وَجَحِيمًا, in blazing fire. Blazing fire, the comfort, the coolness of this world that they had, now that is gone. And that is replaced with Jahim, blazing fire. وَطَعَامًا ذَا غُصَّةٍ. Now, nice food, delicious food that these people they had. In this world, Allah will replace that food with ta'aman za ghuswa, with a kind of food that will choke, that will be stuck in their throats. Ghussa is something that anything that chokes inside the throat, that is called ghussa. So the food that these individuals will be given inside Jahannam, that will choke inside their throat, will stuck there. And we know from the ayat of Qur'an Kareem, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned, إِنَّ شَجَرَةَ الزَّقُّومِ طَعَامُ الْأَسِيمِ. The Zaqqum tree is the food, the ta'am of the people of Jahannam. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he mentioned in a hadith about the tree of Zaqqum, which is the food of the people of Jahannam. Hadith mentioned in Sunan al-Tirmidhi. He says, if one single drop were to fall in the oceans, in the seas of this world, from the tree of Zaqqum, it will turn upside down. It will turn upside down of the life of every single one on the face of the earth. It will destroy the life of the people and everything that is here in this world. So what about the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam? He says, what about those who will be given Zaqqum, their food inside Jahannam? Na'udhu billahi min kulli zalik. And the other thing, the food of the people of Jahannam is mentioned in Surah Al-Ghashiyah. لا تسمع فيها لاغية فيها عين لا يسمن هل أتاك حديث الغاشية وجوه يومئذ خاشعة عاملة ناصبة تصلى نارا حامية تسقى من عين آنية ليس لهم طعام إلا من ضريع. Their ta'am is ضريع. What is ضريع? ضريع is a plant that has thorns and pricks inside it. It used to be in Arab countries. So that plant is the food of the people of Jahannam. So think about it, that the food that has thorns and pricks inside it, and some people, they eat it. So this is something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in Qur'an Kareem. And their drinks, طعام الأسيم لا in Surah Al-Haqqa. إلا من غسلين لا يأكله إلا الخاطئون. Their ta'am and their drink is ghislin. What is ghislin? Ghislin is actually the wounds, the fluid that come together inside the wounds, the pus that the people they have, that will be the drink of the people of Jahannam. And then in Qur'an Kareem it's mentioned boiling water. When they become hungry, Zaqqum and Dhari' will be food for them. And they, when become thirsty, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give them pus and boiling water for their thirst. And this will continue. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He mentioned in Surah Al-Waqi'ah that they will eat it, but فَمَالِئُونَ مِنْهَا الْبُطُونَ. Their bellies will not be filled with that. They will have continuous hunger and hunger and hunger, thirst and thirst, continuous. This will be azab from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the people of Jahannam. وَطَعَامًا ذَا غُصَّةٍ, and food that chokes. وَعَذَابًا أَلِيمًا, and painful punishment. You know, painful punishment is a punishment that will never end. When someone sees the punishment every time, every single moment, in Qur'ān Kareem, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says the death will come to them from every side, but they will not die. وَيَأْتِيهِ الْمَوْتُ مِنْ كُلِّ مَكَانٍ وَمَا هُوَ بِمَيِّتٍ. They won't die while they will see the death. Every single moment comes to them. That is painful punishment. That someone sees the azab, the punishment that comes to him every single moment, and he doesn't have to get rid of that. That is وَعَذَابًا أَلِيمًا, and painful punishment. Now these 4 types of punishment, the chains, the blazing fire, the food that chokes, and the painful punishment, يَوْمَ تَرْجُفُ الْأَرْضُ وَالْجِبَالِ. When this will happen? This will happen يَوْمَ, the day, تَرْجُفُ الْأَرْض, that the earth and وَالْجِبَالُ, and the mountains will tremble. They will be shaken. This will happen on the day. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He mentioned the severeness of the azab in this ayah. That if you read the previous 2 ayat, the 4 azab that will be given to these people inside Jahannam, these azab are, if you look at it, these azabs are the greatest, the huge azab that will be given. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He says that this azab will not be given in this world and in normal circumstances, no, this will happen يَوْمَ تَرْجُفُ الْأَرْضِ وَالْجِبَالِ, when the mountains and the earth will tremble. Means that this will happen on the day of judgment. And the day of judgment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He didn't mention that this will happen on the day of judgment. He mentioned the day of judgment in these words, يَوْمَ تَرْجُفُ الْأَرْضُ وَالْجِبَالِ, when the earth and mountains will be shaking and will be trembling. So this is the earthquake that will happen on the day of judgment, the zalzala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in Qur'an Kareem in different ayat, يَا أَيُّهَا النَّاسُ اتَّقُوا رَبَّكُمْ إِنَّ زَلْزَلَةَ السَّاعَةِ شَيْءٌ عَظِيمٌ. Fear Allah, your Lord. Indeed, the zalzala of Qiyamah, the day of judgment, is something very great. يوم تذهل كل مرضعة عما أرضعت وتضع كل ذات حمل حملها وترى الناس سكارى وما هم بالسكارى ولكن عذاب الله شديد. You will see the pregnant woman, they will become neglectful of their children. And they will lose it. And you will see the people that they will be sukara, they will be fainted. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you will see them like they are drunk, but they won't be drunk. That's because of the azab of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is severe. So the zalzala of the day of judgment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says that this is one of the major signs of the day of judgment. When Qiyamah, the day of judgment, will be established, so the earthquake that comes right in the beginning of the day of judgment, that will tremble the earth and the mountains. In Surah Al-Noon, in Surah Al-Qalam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He mentioned, فَدُكَّتَا دَكَّةً وَاحِدَةً. that the earth and the mountains will come together, will crush into each other, will be crumbled, and they will become like ashes. يوم ترجف الأرض والجبال. This will happen on the day when the earth and the mountains will tremble. وَكَانَتِ الْجِبَالُ كَثِيبًا مَهِيلًا. And the mountains will become كَثِيبًا, heap of sand. Kathib, you know that when the air comes and it blows the sands from all different places and bring it to one place together, and they pile it, collect all the sands in one place. That is called kasib in Arabic. And mahil, when the same heap of sands, when again the air blows on it and it scatters that sand, that is called mahil. So all these strong mountains that we see in this world, and the earth that we see in this earth, in this world, this will become just like the heap of sands that will be scattered on the day of judgment. Everything that we see will be perished. يوم ترجف الأرض والجبال وكانت الجبال كثيبا مهيلا. And وكانت الجبال, and the mountains will become كثيبا, a heap of sands, مهيلا, scattered. Inna ladayna, inna indeed, ladayna with us, ankalan, shackles, wajahima, and blazing fire, وطعاما, and food, ذا غصة, that chokes, وعذابا, and punishment, عذاب, أليما, painful. يوم, that day, ترجف الأرض, ترجف, will tremble, al-ardu, the earth, wal-jibal, and the mountains. وكانت, and will become, al-jibalu, the mountains, kathiban, a heap of sand, mahila, scattered. Inna, indeed, ladayna, with us, are ankalan, shackles, wajahima, and blazing fire, وطعاما, and food, ذا غصة, that chokes, وعذابا أليما, and painful punishment. يوم, that day, ترجف الأرض والجبال, the earth and mountains will tremble. وكانت الجبال, and the mountains will become كثيبا مهيلا, a heap of sand scattered. One more time. Inna, indeed, ladayna, with us, ankalan, are shackles, chains for these people, wajahima, and blazing fire, وطعاما, and food, ذا غصة, that chokes, وعذابا, and azab, punishment, aliman, painful. يوم, that day, ترجف الأرض, the earth will tremble, wal-jibal, and mountains. وكانت al-jibal, and the mountains will become kathiban, a heap of sand, mahila, scattered. Inna, beshak, ladayna, hamare paas hai, इनके लिए अनखालन जंजीरें या वो भेड़ियाँ भारी व जहीमा और भड़कती हुई आग व तआमन और खाना ज़ा गुस्सतिन जो फंसेगा हल्क में व अज़ाबन अलीमा और अज़ाब दर्दनाक यौमा उस दिन तरजुफुल अर्दो वल जिबाल कांपेंगे ज़मीन और पहाड़ वकानतिल जिबालो और हो जाएंगे पहाड़ कसीबन महीला रेत के टीले महीला बिखरे हुए. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر.
جزاكم خير. I will go over the rules of tajweed and then recite, inshallah. So we're on ayah 12. We have inna, noon with a shadda is the rule ghunna. So we're going to hold on to that noon. Inna. And then we have mad munfasil, ladayna ankala. You can stretch it for 2 or you can stretch it for 4. So ladayna ankalan or ladayna ankalan. Ankal, noon, sakin, followed by a kaf. This is the rule of ikhfa. So as we discussed last week, you're going to keep your mouth open and make sure that your tongue does not touch the top of your mouth. So you're going to say ankala, ankala. And then you have tanween followed by waw, which is the rule idgham with ghunna. Lawa. You're going to merge the noon sound into the waw, and you're going to hold for ghunna of 2. Lawa. Okay, so this ayah. Inna ladayna ankalan wa jahima. The noon in inna does not have a stretch after it. So it's not inna. If you do that, you change the meaning, right? You add on another meaning to it, right? So make sure that there's no stretch. Inna, no stretch, okay? You hold for ghunna, but you don't stretch the noon. Inna ladayna ankalan wa jahima. أنكالا وجحيما. Then in the next ayah, we have tanween followed by tha. That's ikhfa again. So again, keep your mouth open. Make sure your tongue does not touch the top of your mouth. Anticipate the dhal. The next letter, dhal. Again, we talked about this last time. Make sure your tongue, the tip of your tongue touches the bottom edge of your teeth. Right? And you have to blow. Dhal, dha, dha. Ghussatin, tanween, followed by waw, idgham with ghunna again. And then adhaban, again that dhal, our tongue has to come out and we have to let the air flow between the letter. And then we have tanween, adhaban, alima, followed by a hamza, which is the rule izhar. Make sure that the noon is clear. You don't hold on it. There's no ghunna. There's no ikhfa, just adhaban alima. We're going to quickly move after saying the noon clearly. Adhaban, we're going to move to the hamza for alima. So this ayah. وَطَعَامًا ذَا غُصَّةٍ وَعَذَابًا أَلِيمًا. ذا غصة وعذابا. One more time. Make sure that the tip of the tongue, edge of the teeth, and blow. ذا غصة وعذابا. وعذابا. The whole ayah. وطعاما ذا غصة وعذابا أليما. The next ayah, major rule inside that ayah is the tanween and then كثيبا مهيلا. We have tanween followed by mim, idgham with ghunna. يوم ترجف الأرض والجبال وكانت الجبال كثيبا مهيلا. يوم ترجف الأرض والجبال وكانت الجبال كثيبا مهيلا. The tha is like the thal. tip of the tongue, edge of the teeth, and blow. كثي كثيبا مهيلا يوم ترجف الأرض والجبال وكانت الجبال كثيبا مهيلا Okay, let's say all of the ayat one more time. إن لدينا أنكالا وجحيما وطعاما ذا غصة وعذابا أليما يوم ترجف الأرض والجبال وكانت الجبال كثيبا مهيلا One more time, the tha, let it come from tip of the tongue, edge of the teeth, blow, كثي كثيبا مهيلا For أنكالا, نون ساكن followed by كاف, إخفاء, say أنكالا وجحيما. Don't close your mouth. Don't let your tongue touch the top of your mouth. أنكالا وجحيما. وجحيما.